Hi everybody, it's Kim from Inside My Money, and I'm very excited today to be launching my new website. I wanted to launch it to you, my home bank people, first because I've been working with you now for quite some time and I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying answering all the questions, and so I wanted you to see what my other project was that I've been working on for a while as well. Now, as you can see, this is my website. It's at www.insidemymoney.co.nz, and it's an extension of what I'm doing with Home Bank. Home Bank was actually a part of this initially, and then I did the Home Bank stuff on YouTube first, while I was creating all of these other sort of tools and modules. So what it is it's tailored for people who really want to learn how to save more, make savings easier, and grow their savings, and particularly for people who are first home buyers. So there's 5 different topics that I cover. They're in sort of modules, some resources, which is sort of learning about different concepts, and then challenges where I try and encourage you to do things with what you've learned. Everything's interactive, so you're not just reading sort of words on a screen. There's things that you click and type and do, and links and videos. So trying to be as interesting and engaging as I can. 5 different topics cover the whole home buying sort of process, from starting to save, repaying personal debt, looking at mortgages, looking at doing your due diligence when you're first looking at houses, and then buying a house and talking about sort of negotiations and options. So Home Bank is definitely a part of this, because Home Bank is obviously a really important part of how we learn where our money's going, know your numbers, sort of thing. So I promise that I won't stop doing the Home Bank videos, because that's really integral, but then I will springboard off those Home Bank videos into concepts that are related to savings and spending, managing your money, and particularly for first home buying. So in a moment, I'm going to show you around and show you what I've got to offer you. What I would really like is for you to test this for me. So I've got a test coupon. It's a code that you can put in, and you would go in and register, put in the coupon, and it will give you 3 months free. And then after that, you can cancel membership if you want, or you can keep using it, but you would then pay after the 3 months. So I wanted to give you people the 3 months free so that you can test it. Tell me what you like, give me advice on what you find relevant and what you think I could do differently, because the whole point of this is to create stuff that's going to get used. So I really am interested in your feedback. Now, is this relevant for my overseas people? Yes, I think a lot of it is. Just be mindful, some of it is New Zealand specific when we talk about KiwiSaver, or some of the particular more legal things. They might be more New Zealand specific, but I think the overall concepts relate regardless of where we are in the world. So I hope that's all relevant for all of my people, because that's my goal. So let's jump in and have a look. So I've got my front page, and I'll show you, if we go to start your journey, that's where you'll learn the different topics that I have on offer. And if you look here, there's some free stuff. So if you don't want to join with the coupon, then just go and look at the free resources. And what happens is the resources open up on your screen. You can use it on a laptop or on a phone, so you can do this anywhere. And they're in a system that should be mobile friendly, laptop friendly, and you do everything online. So you can go to any of those. And we have the 5 topics. So save the deposit, and this is all about helping you to start saving. For New Zealanders, it's also using KiwiSaver, but then it's our personal savings, why we have trouble saving, how we can learn to save more, and make saving easier, because it's not always very easy. Then we deal with personal debt, and you would have seen in some of my home bank videos, trying to repay that debt using the avalanche method or the snowball method. We talk about that here, but we also talk about why we get into debt, and just obviously more about how to get out of debt. Then we talk about mortgages. some of the rules for Kiwis in terms of the bank rules, but they are pretty universal as well. We look at mortgage types, and then we look at how we're going to repay a mortgage. We go across to choose the house, and this is where we get into the due diligence, the building inspection report. What does it show you? Why do you get one? And then we look at what happens at an open home, and then give you some ideas around there. And then finally we look at buying the house, and we talk through the buying process so that you know what the whole process is from start to finish. And we focus in on buying through a negotiation. And in the challenges, you can sort of practice a bit of a negotiation, a bit of a simulated negotiation. And then also we look at auctions, buying at auctions. Now, the membership plans, once you've used your coupon, or if you do want to join and pay, then there's the monthly one, which is $20 New Zealand a month, or there's a yearly one, which is $170 per year New Zealand dollars. So the idea is that if you're joining for a year, then as I add more content, then you'll get access to that for no extra cost. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to encourage you to do as much learning as you can by giving you points. So when people join, they become paid members, you earn points, and then as you get to certain levels, it will unlock more material. So I want to make sure that I'm always adding lots of value, but also encouraging people to really go in and learn as much as they can, earn those points, and then go up the different levels, and that'll get different sort of rewards or unlock more material that you won't have to pay for. So always trying to add as much value as possible. If you do have any suggestions or advice, then you can just put them here, or you can put them into YouTube and I will pick up on those comments. So I still want to keep all of the YouTube home bank comments coming through, so keep asking me questions, because that also helps me to get ideas for adding to this sort of membership side of things as well. So if you want to go in and have a look at what one of them looks like, we'll go across to the free resources. And so this is what the page looks like. And then when you go in as a member, then you will get your own separate members area, and it unlocks all of the material. So the free stuff is just a snippet of what I've got on offer. So if we have a look at something like Save Your Deposit with Personal Savings, then it just opens up and it loads, and then there will be some audio. So you'll see there's some audio. You always put your username in if you're collecting points. And then we just go through. Sometimes you'll need to click on next to the right. Other times there'll be a button. And so you can see that sometimes there might be a little bit of a lag, but that's okay. So here, for instance, in this module, we've got 5 different questions that you could answer. You can focus on whichever one you want. So you might say, I want to know how to make saving easier. So again, you click on that and it will go through and it will talk about why saving's hard, how do we make savings easier, and give you strategies to be able to make that better, to make savings easier. Now, a lot of what I'm doing is trying to be sort of grounded in behaviours, not just a lot of theory. So, and it's easy to say, spend less, save more. Make sure you don't get those around the wrong way. Spend less, save more. But the problem is how do you do that? Because you're walking down the road, you're hungry, it's, you've still got to go home and do whatever, and fish and chips is the easy option. So how do you not stop and buy fish and chips for dinner when you could go home and cook a meal? So it's, it's easy just to say don't do it, but life doesn't work like that. So I'm trying to be as grounded in behaviours as possible, and that will come through with the home bank stuff as well. So as you can see, everything happens within the modules. And then so that's the resources. So that's more information, but getting you to do things. And then when you go into the challenges, you can see that we're actually now getting you to sort of write more stuff, make some decisions, think about what you're actually going to do. And so, for instance, this one's all about, choosing your house. Where are you at with that? Are you at the stage where you're ready to go to a mortgage broker? What did they say that you could borrow? What's your deposit going to be? Helping you to sort of cement some of your ideas. So sort of like a bit of a mini plan that you're creating around how you're going to buy this house. So it will give you, things for you to actually do. So by the end of it, you should have taken some actions, thought through some things, made some decisions, and trying to be as practical as possible. Through the rest of the website, there's the blogs. You can read those, and I'll keep adding to those. But what I do now is I just encourage you to go to start your journey, and then you go to the monthly plan. You click on that, and then you'll have the coupon, and it will be test coupon. And I'll write this as well for you to see in the comments. So what you do when you get to this page is just put in all of your information, and you will have to pay with put in a credit card. I'm not doing bank transfer, we're just doing Stripe at the moment. So that's Stripe, which is well used by everybody. So you just put in your details, put in the code test coupon, and then when all of that comes up, you should find that there's zero payment, and that will last for 3 months. So that's the website. Please have a look around. Let me know what you think. If you want to just use the free stuff, please go ahead. You can use obviously all of it for as often as you want. If you do want to see all of the modules, then register, use the coupon, and then you'll get 3 months free. I'd really like any advice or feedback. So good luck, and I will be doing lots more home bank videos. There's no end to the topics that I can talk about. So enjoy, and I'll talk to you again soon.